Complete, episode 2942.
Damn.
DJ Skee,
What's up?
a.k.a. Mr. Mysterious.
Haven't heard that before. I'll take it.
Yeah, I'll take it. Dude, shoe game on point.
Game's good. I actually I matched my knees. I'm sliding. That's why I'm all sweaty. We're out here shagging fly balls. I'm actually catching all these. So I actually got a little good catch. But
yeah,
got some. Forgot that I wasn't in baseball pants.
I ain't gonna lie. You know what?
And I got the scuffs on my Jordan.
No way. Tonight?
4 SBs. It's grass.
Oh.
It's worth it though. I love it.
That's commitment right there. Well, first of all, this is like one of 1,000.
Yeah, exactly.
So that
it's true. But still, every pair is special. So
yeah, that's true. What's the story here? Like, where did you get them?
Jordan 4 SBs. So Jordan 4 to me is like one of the best Jordans ever, and first time they've actually made an SB version, so different materials. They hold up a little different. I'm actually putting them through a great wear test tonight, but different materials. Just love it. Like a clean white and green colorway.
Yeah, clean.
Came out like hype, but not like crazy hype. That's kind of what I like. I don't
gum
like
bottoms?
the super overhyped ones. Yeah, low gum bottoms. So clean shoe. You get
Yeah,
Nike
I
SB
agree.
in the back.
I agree. The like the super high.
Like if you know, like
Yeah.
I don't like the like OD, and it's tough. No matter even having all these pairs, right? Like if you look at a pair and they're worth $1,500, $2,000. Like
Yeah.
you're basically burning money the moment you put it on. It's tough, right?
Well, yes and no. If you resell.
Yeah, I don't know. I sit on everything. So.
Yeah, of course. By the way, look at this mullet wall of fame
I know,
here.
this is incredible. This stadium's awesome.
So, okay, if you didn't notice, we're at First Horizon Park, home of the Seattle, home of Nashville Sounds. We're actually in danger.
I know, right?
Believe
Well, nobody's
it or not.
hit a home run yet,
Nobody's hit a home run yet.
so we're good.
You got
Nice.
How did you do up there? You got a bunch of left field
Yeah, I
hits?
got a hit. hit. They were coming in. I started off too far, and they were all super low, so I missed the first couple. But then after that, I've gotten a roll and hit a couple liners to like left, center.
Okay. Yeah, I was recording it. I don't know why. I just like.
You gotta send it to me. I want to see how my swing is. I haven't swung in it.
I'll send
I
it
don't
to you
actually
with some
know. I used to hit the
tips.
batting cages. I mean, I played as a kid growing up all the time.
Really?
This is my sport. Yeah.
How long? Like all high school? Or?
Yeah, up until high school, until I started DJing, and then I quit in high school once I was DJing and left high school to focus
When did you
on my
start
music
DJing?
career. I was like 15.
No way.
Yeah.
House parties or just friends over or like
House
clubs?
parties to mixtape. I started with mixtapes to events to clubs to radio to all that. I started radio when I was like 16, and the rest is history.
Yeah. What would be okay? It's obviously a different game now. There's not mixtapes.
None of that stuff. I know it, right? Radio
Well-
doesn't matter. Mixtapes aren't around.
No.
Like,
Well, let me ask you this, because I'm a novice here. So there's like DJing and like really. This is probably not the right term. There's like custom DJing, and then there's just like playing the playlist.
yeah.
Do a lot of people do that?
Pre-mix stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you'll see that, right? Or you'll see people that have sets. The challenge with that is you can't adapt, right? Like when you're playing live for a crowd.
That's true. Yeah.
You got to see. That ball was coming.
Oh. Oh.
You can't adapt, and that's the challenge with it, right? Like you're not going to have a good show experience because if something goes off, the energy's not there, and you're playing. Like I've seen a lot of DJs do that. It's tough. You gotta adapt and be ready.
Yeah.
So it's reading the room. It's like stand-up comedy. You can't you go in with a plan, but when you get punched in the face, then you got to adapt and keep it rolling.
Okay. I'm going to go out there and say you're like one of the only sports DJs out there that's just really pushing the culture. But let's talk about like just music in general.
Yeah.
Give me top 2 favorites, or maybe not favorites, but like
impossible, right? Like you say day by day.
okay, I'll take it. Not favorites, just top 2 that
Stuff that I'm listening to.
Yeah. Let's not do that. Let's not make it. Let's
on-
not piss anybody off.
Yeah, no, it's tough, right? Like what was I listening to on the plane? I was listening to a lot of DJ Premier today randomly.
Okay.
I just going back through Primo stuff, but I say Jay is always up there, just motivation music, hustle music. Was listening to a lot of Cube. We do all the stuff with Cube and Big 3, so there's some debate with him who's the greatest storytelling rapper online between him and Biggie, so I mean, Cube's up there. I think it's tough to take that throne from him, although Big's incredible. So he's up there. Dance side, I really like. A lot of people are into him now, but Fred again's incredible, right? So love the music that he's been putting out and just the vibe and the energies. And then honestly, a ton of I've been on Afrobeats the last like 5-6 years, heavy, and like that scene's having a moment. So the music coming out of Africa, I think, is the best in the world right now.
Yeah. No. It's funny because you could be in one city, and obviously we have the internet, and we have like digital transfer, but it's different, dude. Like the music in Atlanta is still not the music in Houston, and still not the music in
Which is great. That's what you want, right? Like you want to have those local scenes and local cultures.
It's true. I never looked at it like that.
It's what makes the cities, right? Like you go to, I mean, I used to love going to Atlanta, to the Bay, to certain cities because it was different, right? Like it had its own scene that was unique and it supported each other, and it had like local superstars versus a lot of other markets that you go to. You could exchange the radio station, the playlist, the person, everything anywhere, right? Like it could be the same as any of those cities. So I really respected when a lot of those cities would, have their own scene and do that. And it was always so cool going there and like identifying. And Atlanta, always going there and be like, who's next? Who's the hot guy right now? And like it's always somebody brand new. They're like, oh, we got this kid, baby. Like,
there's a circuit. A lot of people don't know about this circuit.
It's incredible. Like to have that ecosystem, and that's why they keep building stars, and it all supports each other. And like, once a city gets momentum, you got to kind of have to ride that, and Atlanta's done that incredibly.
All right, let's talk sports.
Yes.
You're obviously here because you're sports integration. It's part of it's part of your DNA, as I would say. Why is it a part of your DNA?
I mean, I literally thought I was going to be a pro baseball player playing in these fields as a kid.
Seriously?
Got into, baseball was my life until I fell in love with DJing, and then I knew that's what I was going to do. And I always joke that I still made it to the majors and to the big leagues. I just came in a different door and that's kind of the story of my life, right? Like things happen, not always plan out, and you just make the most of it and find a way in, right? Like my boy wrote a book called The Third Door that talks about it's not the front door, it's not the back door, it's a side door that you kind of sneak in and you just find a way to make it happen. And that's kind of what I did with sports, right? Like jumping into the DJ for my teams and the things that I love and actually build a real business of it. It's just a dream come true.
Yeah, I mean, until like, obviously one thing about creatives is you have the ability to do a side hustle, right? Like, you could be full-time, but I think it really says a lot when you're pushing it and you're honing your craft and you're getting repetitions. And don't get me wrong, it's all good, man, if you're just like focused on the season and you're, just really dedicating your time. But like, I just believe in collaborations and jumping in on projects that, like you said, like, could open that third door.
100%. That's what it's all about.
Give me one story. Give me one story where third door opened and just out of the blue,
Man, I'll say there's, I look at my life as there being a few really key moments, right? Where there's like they always say luck is opportunity meets preparation, right?
Yeah.
Which is true. I think one of the challenges a lot of people have is when you get that opportunity, as much as you want it, it's not always easy to take. So, for example, my big break came when I was a teenager in Minneapolis, 16 years old. I never worked a real job. I was selling PS2s, Xboxes, importing sneakers from Europe online, like different color Air Force Ones and Jordans, and selling to like rappers. And that's how, like, I was hooking Fat Joe up and all these. It's crazy. Anyways, got connected with Steve Rifkin, who was the CEO of Loud, Sony at the time. Biggest hip hop label probably of all time, and them and Def Jam, but street hip hop label, definitely Loud. And he needed a PS2 for his son for Christmas, hooked him up. Stayed in touch with him, gave him a proposal on what he was doing wrong with his label. He's like, come meet with me, ditched high school, flew out, met with him. He offered me a job. And while as obvious as it is, as a 16-year-old in Minneapolis that's never been to L.A., that's getting a job that has a plan like, I thought I was going to go to college and go the traditional path. When you're really faced with that, like, all right, I'm going to pack up everything. I'm going to leave this place to go to a city I've never been to. Yeah. Nobody I know. Never lived, like, on my own, right? Like, as a 16 and, like, not making that much money for... It's a risk, but jumping in, like, figured a way to graduate early, did whatever it took, packed a U-Haul, went out and it worked out. And another one, right? Like, I'd say even leaving traditional radio and TV to start my entrepreneurial real career and focusing on that. I'd always done a lot, but to launch my own business and raise money and build what's become kind of, a multitude of companies was not easy, right? Like I had,
of course,
powering all the music for Clear Channel and Kiss FM, the biggest station in the country, on Sirius 6 days a week. I had all the power in the world from a music perspective, but I realized, and even being on TV, like we were bringing the first with Kendrick, Travis, Post Malone, like all these artists, the first time ever. You go on YouTube right now, you'll see it was all with me, but I realized that medium was changing. I didn't want to be a dinosaur in that and left to launch my businesses. So you just have to sometimes just go for it and take a risk when you think it's right, even when other people don't believe in you. People thought I was crazy for that, but luckily it's worked out.
Dude, I love it, man. A good friend of mine, quote unquote, you got to risk it to get the biscuit.
100%, right? if it was easy and safe, somebody would have already done it. That's the reality. It doesn't always work out, but got to keep it moving. And like,
all right. Well, last question. Why is sports and music? Why do they collide?
I mean, it's it goes so much. I mean, think of it.
And then you got art.
100%. We're playing sports out here, right? And listen to what's out here. This is what's motivating you. If you look at every player when they're working out, when they're getting ready for the game, even when they're in the game, like the music is such a key element to the fan experience. We were talking about this. I think that the fan experience at home is far better than going to a game in real life in this day and age. So in order for the fans to have it walk away with it, it's about everything else that happens, because TV cameras, replays, no matter what sport it is and no matter where your seat is, it's going to be better. Everybody has a 70-inch HD 4K TV at home, right? Like, you're watching, people are able to watch this in a better way than it's ever been done. So that in-person experience, you have to really, really turn up. And, you know, the old saying, every ball player wants to be a rapper, every rapper wants to be a ball player, couldn't be more true. And that's why with Skee Sports, we really try to sit at the intersection of that, powering game day content, rocking the crowds, bringing in the right talent, bringing in the right collaborations, getting even like athletes out of the zone of just, you know, focusing on the game to talk about what their loves are and passion. Music, sports, or music, fashion, sneakers, cars, things like that. And that's where I've really tried to build our lane, and I think it's so important, and is now, as you know, like, you know, this is the world we live in now. Yeah, no, they absolutely collide. It's absolutely ridiculous. Yeah, and for a long time we were talking, like, crazy story I was telling at dinner, like, my boy Jerry, Fear of God now, Jerry Lorenzo, he was working at the Dodgers back in the day. Really? Yeah, it's like 2000, because his dad was a major league manager, Jerry Manuel. So, and we, I remember telling him, my DJ career just started to take off, so I was like, at that point where I could have those things, I was like, dude, need to DJ in the game. He's like, man, baseball is too old school. They don't get it. They wouldn't let it happen. And now to see it all over is incredible. We've come such a long way. There's a lot of sports, right? So it's great to see, and it's finally getting its due. But 15 years ago, like, nobody would have thought, and the game day experience was so different. And that's where, you know, certain sports had different challenges, and they've had to kind of come back and realize and embrace that to get the next generation. Dude, I've been in sports a while, and I've heard multiple times from different organizations and stadiums, it's, you know what, the energy there is lit, you know, or, dude, you got to go to the game there. Everyone does this. Like, don't get me wrong, it's absolutely what's happening on the field, but like, the whole entire brand is the package, this experience, like you're saying. It's entertainment. At the end of the day, sports are entertainment, right? Like, where people are there to be entertained, and it's not just the game. Like, to me, even going back, like, my favorite moments as a kid, and I still get chills, is I was still watching on YouTube every few months, right? Like the intro for the Bulls, Alan Parsons Project, dude, from North Carolina. And now, like, that's to me as exciting as the game, right? That was a monumental shift, dude. Right, the lights out, the little 3D bull running through the city, the sound, the music, all those things make it. That's what I love. Like, to me, that was as exciting as watching Jordan hit that game-winning shot. Yeah, no, that was like probably the start of customization, and I think like we were talking about it earlier as well. Like, why go standard when you can be so custom? When you can, you know, customize the audio experience, the music experience, all that. That again, like we talked about it earlier, it's culture. And I think that's the sweet spot and that's what you got. I've got to commend you, not to interrupt. You've done such a good job, and this whole conference and everything you're doing is phenomenal. So thank you for having me out here. Like, 100%. And you've got the right people. Like, sports is traditionally often an old school industry, right? And it's going through this transition, and to see the energy and to see the youth and to see the great excitement and hype and people that want to push the boundaries, like yourself, right? Like, you're doing this because you really are passionate and believe it. So it's really incredible to see. So congrats to what you're building. Like, so happy to support anything that you need. We're here. I appreciate it, man. Absolutely. It's the camaraderie, you know, like it's more than a phone call. It's more than a Zoom. You got to get out. You got to physically, you know, you got to, like, again, risk it to get the biscuit. You got to. That's why we're here. You got to take. I call them measured risk. That's exactly measured risk. Right? Very different from just winging it. Yeah, 100%. Like, anything, like, even when I moved to LA, right? Like, it's a risk, but, like, dude, I'm learning from the sea. Like, what better opportunity? Like, it's a risk. That's upside is like I'm here right now, right? Like, downside, I got to move home and go to college, and I'm still all right. I'm 18 years old at that point, then, right? So it's like, you know, it's not the worst thing in the world. No, dude, thank you for being here. Dude, thank you for having me. Had a great time. This is great. I'll tell you, absolutely, the kid could have gone pro. Could have gone pro, man. See me out. I'm going to go catch some more fly balls. We still got time, right? We do. What time are they hit until? We do. We got about 30. We got about
We got an hour, believe it or not.
Actually, I'm out there for another hour.
Hey,
This is fun.
I think you were like 650. You were over 500, man.
I'm gonna go catch them. I actually like playing defense better in outfield.
True.
This is funner.
All right, guys. DJ
man.
Skee,
Let's go.
creative athlete. Talk soon. Thanks for hanging with us,
Dude,
man.
of course. Thank you.
All right. Later. Uh-oh.